What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Three Wide Podcast. And who am I joined with today? I mean, you could probably already tell by this ADHD looking motherfucker. What's going on, bro? How you been?
I mean, I've been chilling with the race director, Mikey. Mikey sitting out there, and
Word on the street is you've passed a test recently. You got like a 90 on a test. Can you confirm
yeah, I
what test
did.
that was?
Yeah, I did. I got hit with
What test was it? What's
Raj.
that?
What do you mean? What's subject? Bro, we just started.
What? No, what test was it?
What do you mean? What test?
COVID, you idiots! Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that test. We're gonna pause it with that test.
Yeah, so basically, what this guy is trying to explain, because his brain cells clearly aren't working, is that he has COVID. But it's just
Nah,
typical
COVID,
Ferrari fans.
COVID.
Not nothing up here works. It's all Charlie Cruz's gonna win.
Wait. Says
Anyway,
McLaren, "Oh, we're gonna make a good car. We're gonna make a good car." Yeah, we haven't made a good car since
Speaking of a car,
2015.
the shirt that I'm wearing,
Huh?
HAAS. If you guys would
Oh yeah,
keep it
delivery looks. Okay, we'll get into that. Get into that with this plonker.
Today was the first day of F1 car reveals, and the first one to drop was HAAS F1. And honestly, I think we were mostly all expecting some red, white, and blue traditional HAAS American Leung. However, I'm a big fan of this livery. It's like red, black, mainly black and red, and a little bit of white here and there. I'm a big fan of it. What are your predictions on it?
I think you're applying. No, I mean with the MoneyGram, it looks really clean. If we take a look at it more closer,
People are saying it looked like the old,
this car.
the old Minardi sort of design back in the day.
Ooh, that's. I was actually gonna get into that, but yeah, no, it does look a little
It
bit
looks
like
clean.
that, but
I'm a
it
big
looks
fan.
very clean. I'm not gonna lie, very clean. I do like the black. The black and white definitely suits it well, and the combination of red looks good. But I do want to get into a little bit more on the technical details.
Me too.
Have you noticed the side pods?
Yeah.
Have you noticed the side pods? Aggressive.
Yeah.
Aggressive.
Well-
like their Ferrari counterpart. Aggressive.
Oh, they are Ferrari. Oh, they are.
Well, yeah, true, but like they weren't
Go.
they weren't like serious on their side pods before, and being the joke that Haas was in 2021,
And
make
20.
no upgrades. I think they're and 2022, but mostly in 2021. This time, I think they're putting in all their resources.
Well, guess
into
what?
this
Guess
year,
what?
and it really looks
The
good.
point. Ready? MoneyGram is a sponsor, a big name bank or money transfer sponsor.
Hmm
That allows Haas for the first time, I think, basically since its incorporation in Formula One, it is like operated right near the salary budget for the whole season. It's used almost all of the budget. This was never possible because Haas didn't have the money like that, and Gene Haas didn't want to, go into his pockets like that. You can understand from a businessman's perspective, right? To put all of your eggs in one basket. He had no sponsors online. The only main two sponsors he's had has either quit on him in Rich Energy, or has come with a bunch of controversy, and that was Irakali with Mazepin and company. Now MoneyGram has led to Gene not having to put so much risk, not having to self-insure so much of himself because he's able to split the investment with MoneyGram, hence leading to Haas, again, spending a lot more of the salary cap that was allocated to them, which leads to my prediction that we're going to see Haas's best ever season since 2018 at least, where they were the fourth fastest car but came P5 in the championship. I think we're going to see a very, very quick Haas this year, and it's finally down to a good and healthy relationship with their sponsor, because it feels like for the first time, I was watching this on I believe Motorsport, or no, the race. I don't know if you watched the race on YouTube. They had a good point where they said this looks like the first Haas sponsor of their recent sponsors, where it looks like Haas were the ones going out for the deal. You know what I mean? Like Rich Energy just felt like they kind of held Haas hostage.
What do you mean? Rich Energy was the best sponsor ever. What are you
Oh, be
talking about,
quiet.
bro? They had the best sponsor
And
ever.
then
Rich Energy
with
at Santa,
with
fucking
that guy was something
bad
else.
at Santa, bro. Who
Yeah.
remembers the Santa?
But also with
What
Uralkali,
plonker.
the only way they would sponsor Haas is if they got a Russian driver, and surprise, surprise, that was Mick Schumacher, who had Nikita Mazepin, who had so much controversy coming into Formula One. So this feels like the first healthy relationship with a sponsor, and I feel like it's going to greatly impact Haas's pace for the longevity of this season.
Uh-huh. I agree, but with that said, let's hope that Haas can keep that sponsor, because if they only have it for this year and next year they're gonna lose them, it's gonna be stupid. Because MoneyGram's actually very powerful company as it is, and it's very important to keep MoneyGram, considering that they could actually outperform themselves in this season. I think in 2018 was Haas's best season.
They were the
They
fourth
came
fastest
fourth,
car, but came fifth in the
fourth
championship.
in the stand,
Fifth.
no, fifth in the standings. Best finish was fourth that year.
They were the fourth
I
quickest
think.
car.
Yeah, I think they could come in a podium this year. I think a podium, and I think that with Ferrari's improvements, since that's their engine supplier, there's going to be some good potential. I think even they're going to outperform Williams. I think they have potential chance to outperform Alfa Romeo, maybe even Aston Martin.
I think
And
they're going to be closer to the Alpine McLaren fight than they are going to be with the Aston Martin Alfa Romeo fight.
ooh, pairing them up with the Alpines is tough, because Alpines is going to
No, I'm not saying
fire.
I'm not saying they're going to be right with them. I just think they're going to be closer to the levels of McLaren and Alpine than the likes of Alfa Romeo and
Yeah, for sure. I
and we'll
mean, they
speak
look
on Alfa
like
Romeo in
they're
a little
serious.
while, but also to also remember this is probably one of Haas's strongest driver lineups in a while. Let's be honest. Nico Hulkenberg is a great driver who deserves his podium after many glorious drives back in his Renault and Force India days. You know, yes, they had a little bit of beef with Kevin Magnussen in the past, but he said both of them
Suck my balls, mate.
exactly. They both confirmed they laughed it off numerous times already. And I feel they're both very quick drivers. We saw what Kevin Magnussen did in Brazil, for example, and early on in the season, getting, I think 3-4 points scoring finishes in a row. This is definitely, I would put this above, I think Magnussen's a lot better than what he used to be. And I think Nico Hulkenberg is a big upgrade from Romain Grosjean from back in the day. So I think this is Haas's best car since 2018, and potentially be even faster and quicker because they're working at almost max capacity in terms of budget cap, and it's their best driver lineup for in 5 years. So I think when those two components add up, the expectations and pressure of still being America's only Formula One team as currently organized, I think they're going to be on for a really good season. I mean, how much worse can it get from the last couple of years, right? But I think we're going to see a big leap from Haas this year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it would be really stupid to see them go down. I do not want to see them go down. I want to see them only going up. I think they have a very good chance at this winning in general. I think that they really have a good shot at this, and I think that if they don't take advantage of this, it's going to look really stupid, because I really want to see them win, and it's going to be a real shame if they can't even get a podium. I feel like a podium's going to be, but another thing we have to consider is
I don't know about
Haas
podium, but we'll see.
Nah, I want to see them on a podium, bro. They
Everyone
look
wants
like
to,
they
but
could.
with all the, I don't know if they're going to be there. They might be closer, but we'll see.
Yeah, but come on, McLaren's not going to build a good car. Ferrari's going to win.
Mercedes, Red Bull, Alpine.
Okay, yeah, forgot about them. No. But all jokes aside, but I feel like they could get a podium. Even with the front runners, I feel like they could get a podium if they really pull their shits together. I feel like they get a podium.
I feel like they're
I mean,
gonna. I think they're a lot
K-Mag was
like
on pole in Brazil. K-Mag was in pole in
Well, that
Brazil.
was a
And
lot of. Let's be real, that was a lot of
okay,
luck.
okay, despite whatever that luck was, they might get
It
lucky
was
with a podium,
timing.
or at least a P4 finish. At least a
I
P4
think
finish.
I'm gonna compare them to Racing Point. I believe 2018, 2019. Remember when Stroll went on the podium or whatever that year, like
Yeah.
Perez won Bahrain as well. That similar to
He went on the pole in Monza as well in 2020.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
Pierre Gasly won that, and then it was Sainz second, and Stroll was third.
yeah.
So yeah,
So I think they're going
kind
to
of
be
want to see
something
something
like
like
that
that.
because they have the components from Ferrari, and I'm sure they kind of wanted. They got a lot of help from Ferrari building this car because they have a lot of money to spend now on this car. So I would assume that Ferrari helped them a lot, as well as Haas probably helped Ferrari as well. And yeah, I think they're going to be a very, very formidable team this upcoming year, and the midfield battle has to watch out for them. Speaking of midfield, let's talk about Sauber, Alfa Romeo, Audi completing the purchase, their first step in this process of this 4-year process of in 2020 or
Yeah, whatever that is.
2-year, 3-year process of becoming a F1 team. They completed the purchase today of the initial stake of Sauber, meaning that this project is indeed in place. And what do you think about it?
My thoughts are, well, according to what this says, this means that this is Sauber's last. No, I'm sorry, Sauber's last year. This is Alfa Romeo's last year with Sauber, meaning 2024 and onwards, it's gonna be Audi, even though it's supposed to be 2026 and onwards. But that's a
Really?
different story. Yeah, apparently so. This is Alfa Romeo's last year, meaning 2024 they're gonna start as Audi, which is
Audi
strange
Sauber?
because they're supposed to start in 2026. But yeah,
I think the 2026 is going to be Audi Porsche, maybe.
yeah.
And right,
No. Yeah, 2026 should be like Audi Porsche or something like
because they're
that,
trying
or
to get
Audi
Porsche to
Audi
be
or Audi
the
Volkswagen.
engine
Yeah,
sponsor. Okay.
but 2024 it's definitely going to be Audi as the main brand of the car. It might even look something similar to what they had on
The
their
concept
display
car?
car. I don't know if anybody. Yeah, the concept car. It's going to be something similar to that as well. I heard. The other thing is, right now, I don't know if anybody knows, but Orlen, their main
Yeah.
sponsor.
Oh yeah, they went to
No, they went to AlphaTauri
Tauri, right?
because they only wanted to work with Alfa Romeo, and they don't
only
want to, I
wanted
guess,
to be the
work with
main
Audi or not.
sponsor, and they weren't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because each company has their main sponsor, like Oracle, Red Bull, Petronas, Mercedes.
Mhm.
I don't even know what McLaren's is. I don't even remember what
I know
McLaren's is, but Orlen
Google
was basically
sponsored
for
it
Alfa
because of the
Romeo.
tire rims. Oh,
Well,
it
yeah,
was the
but
crypto company towards the end.
yeah,
DX something. Yeah.
yeah, some shit like that. But yeah, but basically that, and you could also see that in the way that they structured their management, because now they don't have a team principal. It's sort of a team manager, not a principal, because it's a little bit different. I don't know full details yet, but basically, the way it plays is they don't have a team principal, so they're just basically taking the guy who I guess oversees all this shit at Sauber. He's the team principal, but not really team principal. He's just a manager, because they're preparing their shit for 2024.
Yeah.
Once they go into 2024 and Audi comes in, they're gonna get an actual team principal.
Right.
Definitely, it's gonna be a dude from their side.
Yeah,
from
my
Audi's
my
side.
estimation is that Audi's gonna just clean ship, like all there. They're gonna employ everybody in
It's a
2024.
it's a clean slate. It's
Right,
gonna be a
right.
clean slate.
They're
I heard
just
as well.
gonna use this year to not
They're
on purpose to
basically
do
re-cleaning
bad.
the
Just
slate.
take the hits this year. I'm not having a team principal, and then it's 2024. That's when it's just gonna start. And that's why I
Yeah.
think Zhou's got to perform this year. Guan Yu Zhou has to perform if he even wants to think about keeping his seat, because they're gonna want at least one German driver, and there's a lot of talent left in
Yeah.
the grid. Even Daniel Ricciardo might want that seat at Audi, and he might deserve it. So, we'll see with that.
I don't know about that, because I could tell you with the Audi seat, I don't know where Joe Guan Yu is going to be or Bottas, but I feel that if Ricardo or Mick might return, Mick might get that Audi seat because of the German ties.
But that's why I
But
said
then again,
they're gonna look first for a German
yeah.
driver, but then for a second driver, If Daniel Ricciardo's on the market, you might want to swoop him up or keep Valtteri. We'll see. But
No, I think
anyway,
they're gonna keep Valtteri. Valtteri's gonna be there for sure.
we got
They're gonna
Red
keep
Bull
Valtteri.
on February 3rd, which I believe is a
This
Saturday. No,
is
Friday. It's Friday. I
actually
believe.
okay, Friday. And the next week is we're gonna be. I think I forgot next week's gonna be as well. Well, actually, let me check right now.
I know.
Rah, 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 rah. You know, 6th is Williams, 7th is Alfa Romeo, and then we have to wait.
The next
Yeah,
week.
wait, let's check.
For the big cars.
6th, so next week, Monday and Tuesday is going to be Williams and Alfa Romeo respectively. Saturday of next week is AlphaTauri, which no one's going to want to watch that because they're probably going to be boring. In 2 weeks' time, the 13th, the 13th, week of the 13th is going to be basically
Ferrari,
packed.
Mercedes.
So we have 13th Aston Martin and McLaren. 14th is your boys at the Tifosi, so 2 weeks' time, Ferrari. 15th and the day after is Mercedes, and Alpine is the last one, which is going to be the 16th. So yeah, going to be the week of the 13th, could be, yep.
But
can't wait for the Tifosi, can't wait.
Do you know who Jano Altmir is? Multi-time.
Jana Altmir.
You know him?
Altmir, I don't know who
So
Altmir is.
he's a multi-time F1 esports world champ, and a very quick.
Oh, no, yeah. I heard.
So I'm a big fan of his. I watch a lot of his videos, and one title struck me in a quite intriguing way because I really thought about this topic. And what do we say about what are we saying about DRS being online in wet conditions?
About what? Wait, about what?
DRS being online in wet conditions.
Perez?
DRS.
Oh, DRS?
DRS being online in the wet.
That's silly. No one's going to use it. It's wet. No one's going to use it.
Well,
silly.
I wanted to put both arguments out there, or both arguments I could make up. I'm more on your side than no side, but for the if someone were to consider it, F1 cars are a lot safer than what they used to be, right? That's granted.
Yeah, but I wouldn't push that because if someone's going to try to use DRS...
You have things like the Max and Lewis crash, both at Monza and at Silverstone in 2021, that could have ended drastically. The Zhou Guanyu crash 2022 Silverstone. I mean, the list goes on and on where these drivers...
But those are dries. Those are all dries.
Hold on. But they're going faster than they would in the wet, right? So it wouldn't be a worse crash. If they were in an older car, it would be a lot more of a damaging accident. So that's one case. The second case if someone were to maybe think about implementing DRS in the wet, could be the fact that the F1 cars nowadays are a lot heavier than what they used to be, meaning they provide a lot of natural drag. So, when used wisely, maybe DRS in the wet wouldn't be a bad idea because they maybe wouldn't lose a lot of drag. I mean, again, DRS is only used on the main straights, but there's no real turning required. However, I'm more on the no, it shouldn't be used in wet conditions because the races that really sing to me are Japan and Singapore 2022, where we saw in Singapore, for example, no driver was fancying an overtake. Everyone was single file and was okay with holding position. The only times you saw drivers try for overtake, they'd end up in the barrier. Max on Lewis.
There you are.
Lewis ended up in the barrier. Lando ended up in the barrier. A lot of these drivers realize when it's that wet, like for example Monaco and Japan even, when Gasly almost ran into the tractor.
You go a lot
slower than they go a lot slower than probably what the F1 car can handle, just because of the safety measures taken and the low visibility. Also put into the account of the halo being in their way, which probably doesn't help things in terms of visibility. So I think it was a good little talking point, but I feel these drivers don't really overtake as much in the wet anymore. I could maybe in intermediate conditions it could be online for maybe a lap or two until it gets really wet. I could see that, but I don't think Formula 1 in the wet this year, I don't know about you, but this past year for me it's been really boring. I remember back in like 2014, 2015, 2016, the wet would be the great equalizer, right? You see drivers like Verstappen and Red
Yeah.
Bull absolutely kill the Mercedes at China and Brazil at Spring Out to me. You had great races in the wet, which was the great equalizer. It basically said who's the best driver and who's the driver who wants to risk the most for the win. So like nowadays, maybe in part to the car being so heavy and drivers, being more safe after all these incidents that's happened with like Romain Grosjean, Antoine Hubert, just to name a couple. I feel they're a lot more safe nowadays and aren't willing to uh, risk, um, these high speed collisions in terrible, treacherous, wet conditions. So, on one side, I could see an argument for DRS being implemented in like intermediate to wet conditions, but I'm on the no side because I believe it's too dangerous, and I just haven't seen the drivers, I guess, deserve it in a way because they've been very passive this year, in the wet conditions. So there's no reason to put DRS in there because the drivers aren't wanting overtakes as much frequently in the wet anymore. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. That was a pretty interesting topic.
That's all well and good, and I agree with that. But here's the thing: they're not going to remove DRS. I'll tell you why. If the track,
No, I'm not talking about removing
let's say,
DRS.
no, I know, but like, let's say the track starts drying up, and the drivers are going to want to go faster. They're going to see that. They're going to pit, new tires, whether it's intermediates, full wets, doesn't matter. They're going to want to go, obviously, for fresh tires. If they want to go faster, without DRS, they won't be able to go to faster. So I think it really depends on the track's conditions. Like Fernando said, I think we need to go to the garage and see the conditions. Because, and I think that it really just depends on the conditions, the track, how everybody else is going. So DRS should not be getting rid of. I think it should just depend on the conditions because I don't think anyone's like. Well, yeah, no, I know that, but like I'm saying that I don't think the drivers are gonna want to use DRS, especially in cases of like Monaco, 2022, or Suzuka Circuit 2022, and both those tracks are extremely treacherous to drive in, especially in the rain. I mean, Suzuka's just a devil in the rain, and Monaco, they're going like decently slow at that point already.
Yeah.
But right on that,
There's
like
no
on
real
ice
DRS
skates,
in Monaco anyway. This is that one little
Yeah.
straight for 2 seconds, but yeah, I was just bringing it
Yeah.
up maybe for like more intermediate conditions, but I just haven't seen a lot of and like I said in the past, you see a lot more risks being taken in the wet. I didn't really see that this year in Singapore, in Suzuka, in Monaco. I mean, Monaco's fair enough, but like Suzuka and Singapore, you would think there'd be a little bit more overtakes, a little bit more passion, I guess, from the drivers to overtake. And I understand from a safety perspective and a driver perspective, I understand wanting to hold position and not really risk it. But I don't for that reason I believe DRS shouldn't be allowed because they're not really making an intent to overtake in the first place. So why give them this? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to bring that point up because I thought it was a very interesting topic to talk about. And yeah. But yeah, Drive to Survive comes out very soon, which is going to be very interesting. That's going to be exciting. The rest of the Formula One car reveals are yet to come. 1 down, 9 to go, which is really exciting. And I think, before we end off, what do you rate the HAAS livery out of 10?
Ooh, let me take a look at it again. I have it right in front of me too.
I'm going to go a solid 7.5.
I don't think any car is going to have a black livery this time going on. But the fact that HAAS decided to go with something brand new, still have the white and red, but the black, I don't know, it looks nice. I want to give this a solid, I want to give it like a 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Like a,
it is nice.
I give it like a
I do like
8.
it.
8. I like it. I like it. I think the MoneyGram, the fact that the MoneyGram's already a red and white and the Haas already a red and
Yeah,
white,
it looks
sort of
nice. It
it
looks nice.
copes right in. And more of their sponsors are on the front of the
Yeah, the strip, the
the
little nose,
the strip, exactly.
the nose.
And
Yeah.
the fact that the car looks aggressive, like the side pods, I think
Hmm.
I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. I like it. I like it. I think it's new. I think this is what really represents Haas. I can't wait for the driver's suits, though.
Hopefully
Cannot
they.
wait for the driver's suits.
Hopefully. Oh, also by the way, that was only the 2022 car. I forgot to tell you. That was just delivery on the 2022 car. That wasn't actually the 2023 car. As for what I know.
What? Wait, what?
That's the new livery, but I'm pretty sure that car was the 2022 car. I think
2022
that's what I've heard.
So that's not the 2023 car?
It's
side pods
it's the
look new,
livery
though.
being used, but I think it's a 2022 car. That's what I've heard. But anyway,
That's gonna be weird because I could have sworn that was their new 2023 car. I don't know why they would paint the 2022 car
again,
and then just
it's a strategic thing. Like they use the show cars. It's a strategic thing. But
True.
anyways, guys, hope you guys are excited for the new season as much as we are. We're counting on these like the big boy car reveals like Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari, for example, and obviously McLaren. They're gonna win the whole world championship. No, they're not. But yeah,
No, they're not gonna win the championship.
I know. But yeah, hope you guys are excited again. Take care and peace, everybody.